Eshraghi. She received her Bachelor of Science and Master of Science in Prosthetic and Orthotic with distinction from Tehran University of Medical Science from Iran. She is currently a Doctoral Research Fellow and part-time lecturer at the Department of Biomedical Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, University of Malaya in Malaysia.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to be among the highest ranking positions from the Embassy of Iranian Islamic Republic of Iran, and among the academics, which I can see in the audience. Today I'm here to represent the elite students from the Iranian community in Malaysia, not only my work, and especially on behalf of my team members in the University of Malaya, talking about my main research topic, which is the prosthetic limbs. I'm not going to make it too scientific. I know that you are from different fields, so I would go very general. And of course, the details can be found in our publications and achievements. My background is from the high impact research group, which is in the University of Malaya, Department of Biomedical Engineering, under the main supervision of Associate Professor, my supervisor, Dr. Arezoo Abu Osman. And then we are 2 Iranian students under his supervision, plus other international and local students, especially my colleague, Mr. Hossein Qolizadeh, which unfortunately couldn't manage to attend the event. Our main objective in the HIR team in the department simply is to help to amputees, those who have lost their limbs due to trauma or mainly nowadays diabetes, which especially Malaysia is very much affected by it. So our main intention was to be helpful to this disabled society in order to help them in their activities of daily living, which they are very much dependent on the artificial limbs, or which is called, the terminology is prostheses or prosthetics. The statistics can tell us how severe is the problem of limb amputations around the world. And you can see that 0.5% of the population around the world require in any type of artificial limbs, according to the WHO statistics in 2011. And unfortunately, 80% of those in need of artificial limbs are living in developing countries, which Malaysia and let's say Iran, we are among the developing countries. So that was another motivation in order to work on this field. Most specifically because I'm coming from a background working as a clinician, as a prosthetist mainly in Iran for Red Crescent Society, a comprehensive rehabilitation center, and I've also been involved with veteran affairs, or Bunyad Janbazan, which we call in Iran. So I've been in close contact with the problems that amputees face, especially the war veterans from Iran and Iraq war, unfortunately. So I know how they are struggling to live a life. Unfortunately, the fact is that amputation is a permanent disability. So we cannot hope that the person is going to get back the nerve, get back the muscle or the tissue. So they are going to live a life with this disability, or a lifelong disability. In order to help them to go back to the high quality life, there are a lot of challenges in front of medical care system and the engineers which are working hand in hand to help them go back to their normal life. To the level that nowadays we can see even the amputees can compete in the Olympic Games, not only the Paralympic Games, trying to compete with the normal individuals and show how they can be successful. So in this case, especially engineers, biomedical engineers have a great role in order to help them. This is a very simple illustration of an artificial limb, especially used for lower limb amputations. You can see that, as you can see in the picture, here is the main objective of our research group working on the suspension system. The reason is that I can simply say that although we have a lot of advancement in the field, so that you can see great expensive system as a socket which is in a direct contact with the residual limb of the patient, the pylon, the foot, and in the case of above knee amputees we have the knee units. Although we have a lot of advancement still, if the suspension system is not able to suspend the leg or retain the leg on the patient's residual limb, we can say that the whole rehabilitation system has failed. So the fact is that the artificial limb is useless without an efficient suspension system in order to suspend the leg. And no matter how expensive and how advanced are the components, you can see some of the examples of the prices in Malaysia and ringgits, and that can be very expensive, and not only another person with a limb loss can manage to get one. So no matter how advanced is the component, if the suspension system fails, it's not going to work. So that is why our main objective was to work on the suspension system. There are a lot of suspension systems existing in the market, but because we were from the background as a clinician working in closely with amputees, we knew that each system had its weaknesses and of course the strengths. But the main objective was to come up with a new system in order to reduce the weaknesses as much as possible. Some of the weaknesses of the existing systems, as you can see by the figures and illustrations, are that many suspension systems nowadays in the market, they cause skin problems which are very disturbing for the patients. Because our skin and our body is not designed to tolerate weight, which after someone loses the limb, they have to tolerate this weight, so that they have a lot of challenge to tolerate this external device which is connected to their body. And besides that, the lower durability and of course the high pressure or the high vertical movement which the limb has inside the prosthetic socket, and the pain that they are undergoing in order to have just a very simple walking that we do every day and we simply don't think even about it. So that's very challenging for them, not only for them but also for their families and loved ones who are witnessing this problem every day and every moment, let's say. And above all, we have the expenses which can be very high sometimes, and still, especially in developing countries, we don't have good insurance systems to help the amputees to get what they need. And above all, we can say that all these factors can help to unsatisfaction of a person, which is a very important factor in everyday's life. So that was how, since 2009, our research group worked on different suspension systems, and finally an idea was born And we managed to come up with a new system which we got the Malaysian patent last year, and also we managed to get the US patent which is pending this year due to the distinction that the system gave to the amputees. We managed to do a lot of mechanical, biomechanical and clinical experiments on the real patients in order to see how this system is going to help these challenges. So you can see the mechanical testing, the clinical procedures of clinical testing, which we performed in the motion analysis laboratory in the University of Malaya, Center for Applied Biomechanics, and we managed to evaluate different aspects of suspension system for an artificial limb, and these are some of the graphs and results which you can find the details later in the publications. I'm not going into details today. And then the advantages, the main advantage, we can say that it is a user-friendly system, so that our satisfaction survey showed that the patients were very happy using the system, especially sometimes the amputees have problem in the midnight when they want to do bathing, or they have some emergency cases, they are in rush. It's very important for them to have a user-friendly system which will help them to have the normal life as much as possible. Now, the other advantages, you can see the pistoning or vertical movement was biomechanically tested in the laboratory. And the durability, because we managed to use the rare earth magnetic system in our suspension system. So we can say at least for 10 years, and if not more than 10 years, is going to last. The other thing is that mechanical systems make and produce noises. We all know about that. But if this noise hinders the patients from going into the society because they are shy in order to be in the society, to work, to have their activities of daily living. So our system proved to be noiseless, or the least noise that possible during the functioning, and of course cause less pain, especially at the end of the residual limb. The other advantages is that if we compare with the current systems in the market from Germany or from Iceland, which are the premiers in this field, you can say that you can see that the lower price which can be locally made in Malaysia or any developing countries. What was very interesting for the University of Malaya, UMCs, or Innovation Center, that was how we could prove that the system would have high expected income before 2015 in the case we are able to commercialize it soon. So that was why they accepted our file for the US patent, fortunately. Our other projects in brief we are still working, because nowadays everyone is talking about eco-friendly materials, eco-friendly devices, eco-friendly systems. So we are also working on that, and we are on the right track. Hopefully next year our patent will be released in a new prosthetic liner, and also another option for a suspension system, which me and my colleagues are working with. Our achievements, we managed to get for 2 preceding years, we had the gold medal at the ITEX 2012, and for this specific system, and this year also we got the gold medal for our another suspension system, Hooken system, and we got the MT silver medal before that. Besides that, because one of the most prestigious conferences regarding artificial limbs around the world is ISP, or International Society for Prosthetics and Orthotics. This year we went to the Hyderabad, India, and we got 2 prizes, which was with distinction, for especially for University of Malaya, because they announced, the president of the society announced us in the closing ceremony as the most hardworking research groups in the field of prosthetics and orthotics in the world. And this is my colleague, Mr. Gholizadeh, who got the Forchheimer Prize for our publication, which was selected as the best publication in the field of prosthetics in the last 3 years. And we recently managed to publish a very good publication in the Nature Scientific Reports, and this can be openly accessed in the website www.nature.com regarding the development and how we developed the system and how we managed to analyze different aspects of the system. Also, there are different cited publications of our research group, specifically from Iranian students who are in the team, which is a great honor to work with them. And I'm sorry if the presentation was too brief, because we are in the process of leaving KL tomorrow. We had the honor again to be to make prostheses for an event which is called Bionic Love Expedition. Tomorrow is it will be flagged by the Minister of Higher Education, Malaysia, tomorrow, and the Vice Chancellor, University of Malaya, at 8 p.m. from the University of Malaya Chancellery Building. And it was already recorded in the Malaysia Book of Records, because this would be the longest amputee cycling in Malaysia, 1,500 kilometers. And we are going to follow him, because we need to support and we test different suspension systems and prosthetic components. And finger crossed, we hope that it's going well, and it would be another honor for the Iranian elites studying and working as researchers in Malaysia. This is the picture from the Mr. Azman, the cyclist, who was the champion cyclist of Malaysia before he lost his limb due to accident, unfortunately. And he is still fit, and he is eager to continue his sports and running as well. In brief, in conclusion, we had collaborations with the Isfahan University of Medical Sciences for our projects up to now, and Tehran University of Medical Sciences. It was our honor to work closely with the professors and researchers from that university. And of course, one of the main supporters of our project, because they saw how successful was the project, so they are interested to commercialize our system very soon. OSER is a global leader in orthopedics, and they are based in Iceland, but they have many branches around the world. So we are in process of negotiation for the commercialization of our systems. And great acknowledgement goes to Mr. Firuznia, Dr. Ziai, Dr. Tajik from the scientific branch of Iranian embassy in Malaysia, my supervisor and the leader of the project, Professor Dr. Nurazion Abbasman, which excused because he needed to attend another meeting. So, but he asked me to give his best regards to the audience here. And of course, other people, individuals who helped to this talk and helped me to be here to share my experiences with the audience, Mr. Alemi most specifically, and Mr. Shakiba. And thank you very much for your patience.